This is a pre-recorded session from The Real Wheel. The spins are recorded live and unedited, and the results are still random. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome. It has been a while, hasn't it? You're watching The Real Wheel. I'm going to be spinning this wheel for you for the next 20 minutes, and we'll have a proper catch-up in these 20 minutes as well. But first thing we need to do is get the timer going, and we're going to spin from the big green zero. Getting caught on cables. What's new there? What is the first result of our time back going to be? So yeah, not calling it a comeback quite yet. Sort of a pilot to see how it goes. We're going to see what our first result together is. We're in the nation's luckiest number, red, number 7. Red, odd and low for number 7, first column, first dozen, and part of the Voisin section of the wheel. You can see 7 on the screen. Confirmation of red, 7. And let's spin from 7. So the polite way to put the last 6 months is crap, really, to put it bluntly. It's been one of those times, hasn't it? COVID's still rampant. Heightened cost of living. It's made doing the real wheel next to impossible, especially because I had a lot of other circumstances. As we go into 32 red, staying in the Voisin, this time in the third dozen in the second column, a red, even and high number, 32 red. So talking of COVID, sort of why I'm able to bring you the spins today. COVID is about, let's say that much. So do excuse me if I'm being a little bit slower than normal. I'm going to try and make it through the 20 minutes. As we go into our first black number of the day, number 4. Black and even and low for number 4. First column, first dozen, part of the Voisin section once more. Are we going to stay in the Voisin, or are we going to move to the Tiers or the Orphelin? That is for you to decide. Where do you think the ball will fall? 20 minutes, we're going to get through about 40 spins together in this session. Hopefully that's enough spins to keep you satiated for now. There will be another session being recorded after this to go live in a couple of days' time. No live spins for now, I do want to stress, as we go into black 22. Alan's number, of course, black number 22 in the Voisin section of the wheel, right on the edge of it. In the second dozen in the first column, a black, even and high number. So yeah, very much having to pace myself at the moment. I'm not well, which is why the voice is a little bit manky. The whole setup is done with duct tape and a prayer. But we have spins back as we go into our first reoccurring number of the day, number 7, staying in the Voisin. Staying in the first column as well, this time a red, odd and low number in the first dozen. So wheels moved again. I've vaguely moved. And we have a few technical issues, which makes doing this incredibly difficult compared to how it used to be. Towards Christmas we had quite a nasty power surge, and we had another one earlier this year. A red number 1 in the Orphelin section of the wheel, odd and low for number 1, first column, first dozen, and part of the Orphelin. And obviously my equipment isn't quite how I would want it to be. I'm definitely not using broadcast quality equipment, but we make the best with what we have. As we stay in the Orphelin with number 14, the number of love, even and low for number 14 in the middle column, middle dozen. It's a red number in the Orphelin. And our first foray into the Sierra is with number 24, a black, even and high number, third column, middle dozen, part of the Sierra section of the wheel. Five minutes down, folks. 15 more to go in the first session of the return of the real wheel. So anyway, enough about me. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know in the comments down below, how are you? I've missed each and every one of you, and I genuinely mean that. As we go back into 22, Alan's number. 22 black, an even number in the second dozen, first column, Wazan section of the wheel, and a high number. Just realised I had something copyrighted in shot there. Get rid of that. And that is 12 red. Banal theme going on at the moment. 12 red, even and low. Third column, first dozen, part of the Wazan section. So looking at the marquee, you can see we've had 32, 22 and 12 finales of 2. We've had 4, 14 and 24 finales of 4. And the result, 26 black. Right next door to the big green 0 is 26 black, an even number in the middle column in the third dozen. Black, even and high in the Wazan and 0 Spiel. And it's always nice to do it twice, there's nothing sweeter than a repeater. 26 black. Even and high for 26 in the third dozen, middle column, part of the Wazan section. Apologies, that is a very, very slow wheel there. I haven't actually spun the wheel since the last time I went on air for Real Wheel Live. Shows you how hectic it's been. As we go into number 4, I'm going to speed that wheel up and tell you that 4 is black, it's even, it's low, first column, first dozen, part of the Wazan. And apologies, I'm in my scruffs. I know I'm always in my scruffs doing this, but I'm in shorts and casual ones at that. It's because we are in the middle of a heat wave here in the United Kingdom at the time of recording. And I think with being ill as well, wearing anything more formal, I'd be a pool of water. Let's get that next result for you. 34 completing the finales of 4. 34 red, an even number in the third dozen between 19 and 36. It's in the first column and in the Orphaland section. Oh, that was an awful spin. I do apologise. It was legal. For some reason I picked it up with my third and fourth finger. I won't do that again. Told you, I'm rusty. Result number 15 of the day is number 30, 3-0. Red, even and high for number 30, third column, third dozen, part of the Sierra. New result incoming. What's it going to be this time? I have just as much an idea as you do of where the ball is going to fall. It's all totally random. I can't influence where the ball is going to fall. I just wait for the drop in and click the number. And in this instance, we're going to 15 black. 15 black, even and low in the third column in the first dozen. No, it's not, it's a lie. It's in the second dozen and parts of the Wazan. One mess up in just shy of 20 minutes isn't bad, is it? Do you remember back in November 2020, I want to say, or it might even have been November 2019, I did a session where I was a lot more unwell than I gave myself credit for. I watched that back recently, and goodness me, how bad were my calls? Number 6 this time, black, even and low, third column, first dozen, parts of the Orphalan. So I hope everything is to your suiting here with the rear wheel. Do let me know any adjustments, and if I can make them, I will. There are certain things out of my control, for instance the broadcast quality of the camera, because I do not have several £100 to drop on a better quality one. I broke the bank getting that one. As we go into the hot number of the day, number 26. Black, even and high for 26 in the Voisin section of the wheel, third dozen, middle column. And we move on from 26, going to our next result. And we're in 18 red, 18 the age you need to be to watch these videos. Red 18 in the second dozen, in the third column, a red, even and low number, part of the Voisin. As I will say, it's the law of the land in the United Kingdom to play roulette. You need to be 18 or over. I don't make the rules, but I've got to enforce them. So 18 and over only, please. And the result, 19. If you're 19, you can play along with us here at the real wheel. 19 red, odd and high this time, first column, middle dozen, part of the Voisin. Starting to feel the fatigue. I'm not well, players, but you make do, don't you? And that is exactly what we're doing here at the real wheel today. And the result? Always nice to do it twice, nothing sweeter than a repeater. 19 red, an odd number in the first column, in the second dozen, between 19 and 36. Part of the Voisin. Full marquee now, you can see that number 4 is about to drop off. I do beg your pardon, number 4 wasn't the first result. 32 and 7 have dropped off the marquee. A legs 11, middle column, first dozen for black 11, an odd number in the TR section. And of course 11 is a low number as well. And the result, 34. Red, even and high for 34 in the first column, in the third dozen, and part of the Orphalan section of the wheel. And in number 13, 1-3, odd and low for number 13 in the first column, in the second dozen, part of the TR section. Get rid of it. I'm very triskaidekaphobic. Are you? I know a lot of people's favourite number is 13. Is it your favourite number? Let me know down below. I will read everything that everyone says. I'll take on board any feedback, be it positive or negative. Hopefully it's positive. Had enough positive results lately. 19 a hot number. 19 red, odd and high for 19 middle dozen in the first column, part of the Voisin. And apologies if a fly comes into view at any second. I've just noticed a fly has come in the window. I ain't going to be chasing it around for the final 5 minutes, that's for sure. Number 17, Sabotage. Middle column, middle dozen. In the Orphaland section of the wheel, a black, odd and low number, 17. And right next door to 17 is number 34. 34 red, even and a high number, first column, third dozen, Orphaland section of the wheel. Getting into the final few spins of this session, I hope you've all had fun. I hope you've all managed to predict very well in this first session. The next session we do will carry on from this marquee. So when I finish this session, I'm going to give myself a little breakette, probably get some food in me, but I'll make sure the wheel carries on going. 21 roulette is the next number. 21 red, odd, and of course a high number, third column, second dozen, Voisin. Moving on from 21 to our next result. I reckon we've got 5 or 6 more spins with us on this session. And let's make the most of those spins. If you were thinking 26 for this spin, you'd be absolutely correct. In the middle column in the third dozen, 26 is black, even and high, and in the Voisin. $15 black is the next result. 15 black, odd and low. In the third column in the second dozen, part of the Voisin section. And the result, 7 red. 7 red, an odd number in the first dozen, first column. It's a low number, of course, in the Voisin section. And right next door to number 7 is number 28. 28, a black, even and high number in the first column, third dozen, part of the Voisin. Penultimate spin happening right now. We've got time for one more spin after this. And our second to last result is red one. A low number, first column, first dozen, part of the Orphaland section. Yep, we've got time for one more spin. Good luck. And our final result together is black 26, the hottest number. 26, it's black, it's even, and it is high in the middle column, yeah, third dozen, and part of the Voisin section of the wheel. Well, that's it, first session back, all done and dusted. I'll see you all very soon for the next session, but in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching, and take care.